Club Rave on. And Wednesday Adams, I guess, is doing it. Whatever. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Sulk stream. It's a Monday. It's Monday. We're starting off a new week. We're going to do the whole week. I assume it's Monday. It is Monday. We're doing the whole week. I got a lot of sun this weekend. I went to the beach. Thank God. It is summertime here in Florida. We know when the time changes that the summer is here. And we're happy about that. I hope you guys are happy about that too. Happy for me, because it sucked being cold for that 2 months here. It's nice now. Get to ride my one wheel on the beach, and people say, hey, that's cool. And I'm like, you're cool. I'm obnoxiously positive, which is not typically me. I'm sure you know that. Anyways, guys, tonight we're talking about our favorite subject. And what could that be? Could that be societal collapse, or the mismanagement of everything by women, or maybe international politics? Nah. We're talking about the boomers. No, I'm gonna yell. Sweetie's here. He's a boomer. It'll be nice to get his takes on things. I might be wrong, but I'm not wrong. That's the motto we're going with. So, yeah. We're going to go ahead and jump right in. Grab a nice, what do boomers drink? Everything? I don't know. Grab one of those. Grab a Mai Tai, right? Listen to some Jimmy Buffett. Wear one of those shirts with that button up in the front. That only enormous super sunburned white guys wear. Like hit on waitresses and stuff like that. Super smash drunk. Anyways, yeah, get that whole attire going, right? And if you're working, keep working. And if you're driving, please continue to drive safely. Get home safely. Hit the like button, subscribe. Hit me on my Ko-Fi if you'd like. I would really appreciate it. Ko-Fi.com/SulkStream. Yes. Anyways, another week, another Monday. We're getting into it. I'm the Incredible Sulk. This is the Sulk stream. And this is called Baby Boomers, the most selfish generation ever. Enjoy.
According to the Federal Reserve, baby boomers have officially become the richest generation to ever live, holding over...
Yeah, that's not... Well, yeah.
51% of the nation's total wealth. And as emerging...
That's a lot. 51% of America's wealth, the richest nation in the world. That's a lot of money.
Generations inherit a national debt set to grow by 63% within the next decade. A collapsing job market, record housing prices, and a cost of living crisis. It raises a question: why did the richest generation in history sell out the nation's future? While baby boomers came up...
Because they could. Because they had the option to. Because why not? Because fuck them kids. Fuck them kids. Fuck them kids, right? I get mine. I got mine, right? I got my huge house. I got all my stuff. I got millions of dollars. A lot of them do. Not all of them, but a lot of them definitely do have millions of dollars. And even poorer boomers tend to be worth $500,000 minimum. Not minimum. There's obviously very poor boomers. And, God, you must have made a lot of... To be a poor boomer, right? To be like you're 65, 70 years old. You made a lot of mistakes in life, man. You made, were you an alcoholic most of the time? No, that can't be just it, because, there's plenty of rich alcoholic boomers. I've seen them. I've seen them. They're out and about still today, getting hammered.
Of age during an era when a part-time minimum wage job could cover the full cost of college tuition, lifelong careers were often secured by a firm handshake, and housing prices were so low that nearly half...
Farrell says, yeah, why couldn't we get the chance to sell our country out for spare parts? You know what? We blame these people, right? But they are just people. They are just people, and they're like, if we had the opportunity to sell off bits of the country to the Chinese and get a millions of Mexican immigrants in or South American immigrants in, so we could have cheap labor and raise the price of our house. If we could sell off the country and destroy any semblance of opportunity that was here. Would we not? No, we probably wouldn't. But we're not them.
Of all 27-year-olds owned a home. The reality is that this image of generational prosperity was never shared across all baby boomers. When looking at how the generation's $85 trillion in total wealth is actually distributed, a level that is structurally impossible for any other living generation to achieve, nearly 3/4 of it is held by just the top 10% within the generation, where the responsibility for the nation's economic trajectory and theft of its future truly resides.
Arden says, what pisses me off is that they still have a bad attitude, and I think they just don't know what Google is. They know what Google is. Sure, they understand what AI, well, they know what AI is. They don't really, I don't think they fully understand what AI is, but they know it's a thing they can ask questions and it'll answer for them, right? So they understand it's part of the computer. It is the computer, but, you know, they can use it as a basic tool. They don't care. They don't give a shit. They don't care. They think the world is just the same as it was when they were our age, and they don't realize that when they were our age, they're on their third house or something like that, right? They already sold to, well, we just worked harder. We just worked hard. No, you didn't. You actually worked far less hard. Far less. You got to like go home. You didn't work 100-hour weeks. Some of them did. Sure. I'm sure. And they probably made tons of money, but like the majority of them did not.
Resides. Much of that concentration traces back to their parents' access to the GI Bill, which functioned.
You work 100-hour weeks today and you can barely afford your apartment. You have your car, you have your apartment, and then all this other shit, health insurance and stuff like that you're mandated to pay for and shit. Yeah. So it kind of sucks. And then they're all like, where's the kids? Why don't I have grandchildren? Well, because you can't afford a place to live, right? You're constantly going paycheck to paycheck, and there's no way you're going to be able to afford a house. And they're like, why don't you buy my house? I'll sell it to you for $700,000. It's 1,300 square feet, and it's fucking rat infested.
Less as a universal benefit and more as a sorting mechanism that shaped the economic outcomes.
1,300 is probably 700 square feet.
Of the largest generation in American history. For families excluded from the GI.
Dan Sott says, my dad has only owned one house. He bought it in 1984. It's the house I currently live in and own now. Well, how much did he buy it for?
Bill. The post-war promise never materialized. Black veterans were routinely denied access through discriminatory lending, segregated universities, and local VA offices that refused to process applications, while rural veterans often lacked the educational institutions, banks, and infrastructure necessary to meaningfully utilize the benefits at all. Of the 2.7 million Americans who served in the Vietnam War, roughly 80% were baby boomers from poor working-class families unable to afford college deferment.
They always say about, 56,000 boomers died in Vietnam. That's not a lot. That's a very small number. If I could give up 56,000 millennials so we could have a similar lifestyle as the boomers did, I would do that in a heartbeat. 300,000 millennials have died from deaths of despair in the last 10 years. Just the last 10 years. The heroin overdoses, suicides, drunken car accidents, getting killed or something like that. The deaths of despair, right? If you don't know the definition, you can look it up. But 56 doesn't seem that bad. It seems like a pretty square deal.
Only to return home to a nation already facing.
Is it 80K? Still.
Economic stagnation. But for the families who benefited, baby boomers were...
80K, he bought the house for 80K. I thought 80, yeah. 80K, and it's now worth $1 million, right? Okay, that checks out.
Conditions that marked
1,000 square feet is worth $1 million.
Historic rise from scarcity, defined by comfort, attention, and material abundance. The sheer size of the generation, combined with this economic leverage,
7,200 square foot lot. That is not a very big lot. It's not a very big lot.
Shifted industries to fundamentally curate the economy around their wants and expectations. At the same time, prevailing psychological thought urged parents to treat children as equals and frame challenging adult authority as healthy self-expression, reinforcing a worldview in which accommodation was not a privilege, but a requirement.
Is this how the boomers were raised? Were they? Because I don't. Obviously, I wasn't seen as an equal. I'm still not. No, I don't expect any of you guys are. Well, there's a couple. There's one Tweety's here, so he's a boomer. But there's also another one. I don't know.
European observers at the time would simply describe as spoiled. Cultural historian Lawrence Samuel noted that Europeans who worked as camp counselors in the United States during the late 1950s were often taken back by the brashness of American children, describing them as pseudo-mature and superficially self-assured, with respect granted to adults only when authority had to be earned. Having fun mattered above all else, and the word spoiled appeared more frequently than any other descriptor. Counselors observed that American children were already highly materialistic, more interested in cars, television, and business than their European counterparts.
And it was easy for them to make a lot of money because after World War II, all the factories over there in Europe got bombed as shit. And, we were on the petrodollar standard, so all the money to buy oil had to be fed through American dollars. It was a pretty sweet setup, right? If you were a young man in this era, you were basically damn near guaranteed to make a lot of money if you actually put in some sort of effort, right? If you put in some sort of effort. Obviously, that's no longer the case. You can work as hard as you can, really just spin your wheels.
With parental affection often expressed through consumption rather than restraint, contributing to the early...
John, how old is too old to vape like a 20-year-old girl? I don't know.
Labeling of young baby boomers as the...
Do 20-year-old girls vape? Are you making fun of me because of my vape? I don't give a shit, Knob. I don't give a shit.
Me generation, defined by coddling, pampering, and self-serving priorities.
Free says, this episode is going to get me fired up. No, the Sulk stream is about being chill and being calm and just being real level-headed about shit. Being level-headed, Free side, okay? Because we're all level-headed people here, aren't we? We're all well-adjusted, right? It's not like we spent most of our lives, well, at least most of my life. Some of you guys are older than me, but like most of my life under like some weird imposed tyranny from like 2001 on, right? I remember the 90s vaguely, but not enough to really appreciate like, oh, it was good times here. No, the first real memories started after 2000. I remember 2001. I remember the planes hitting the towers and everything. And I was all like, that's okay. All right, that's a thing. And then just 20 something years of just bullshit after that. I remember barely going through security to get on a plane. I was very young, but I do remember it.
Accusations would only be redirected to every emerging generation.
John has never used a rotary phone. I disagree. I have used a rotary phone. I went to an antique store and they had one on the wall and I was like, holy shit. Look how long it takes to dial 9. Of course there was nobody on the other side.
The more economically relevant reality is that many maintain...
The 90s ruled, loser. I believe you. I just wasn't there. I mean, I was there through the entirety of the 90s, right? I was born like in the very tail end, like of 87, right? But so like, I was like 2 when the 90s started, barely. And then through the 90s, I got to the end and it was like, okay, that was the 90s. I didn't remember much. It was just, yeah.
Those same self-serving attitudes as they rose into positions of power. Despite often being defined by their countercultural revolution, early baby boomers ultimately embraced the very material...
Everyone's saying the 90s were the best. Okay, that's awesome. I'm cool. I had to fucking go to school, and that sucked. I remember going to school in the 90s, and I'm like, this fucking blows, dude. So that's my experience in the 90s, right? I'm like, this is awful. I hate being here. That was my experience in the 90s. If you didn't have to deal with that during the 90s, that sounds like fun. I bet Taco Bell, you get like a taco for like 10 cents or something like that. Don't tell me that's actually how much it cost. Is it?
They protested against. One younger...
Because now they're like $4. $4 or $5.
Boomer, interviewed by the American Prospect, blatantly acknowledged the hypocrisy.
Ampoo says, I did coke and acid in the 90s. It was wild. Did you do them together? Because that seems like it wouldn't be fun. I'm not a coke guy. I don't know.
of their counterparts,
That's is fun, though.
stating they always talk about how they marched and protested.
I
And
think
now,
it was like 50 cents. Okay, well, that's still pretty disappointing. That's still pretty disappointing.
they're the same ones who are stepping over homeless people to buy roll.
Taco Bell in the 90s was cheap. It should be cheap. It should. Everything comes out of like a bag, right? There's cheese dust, right? And then you have bean dust. And then you mix it, and then you put it into a tortilla that is like, will last forever. It shouldn't cost damn near anything, right? But now you go to Taco Bell, and I haven't been to Taco Bell in a while, but like you're spending some money. You're spending 20 or 30 bucks, right? I think I took my family to McDonald's the other day, and it was 40 bucks for the four of us, which I did not think was too bad because I've spent damn near double that there.
Lexes, where that abandonment of principle was
Cock gun sour cream. Exactly. Everything is in a tube or a bag. You could easily take everything in a Taco Bell to space, and then it would be fine. You could leave it outside of the capsule, exposed to radiation and like the sun and shit like that. It would be totally fine.
Forced by the extraordinary economic.
Bring it back in. Make yourself like an enchilada, I guess. And it tastes a little spacey. I don't know what space tastes like, but I'm sure it has a very specific burnt metal kind of taste. But it'd be fine. Maybe a little bit irradiated.
Opportunity they entered adulthood with. A 1966 Business Week report noted employers were resorting to gimmicks to lure sorely needed workers from other companies and other countries, with Ford and others even combing Appalachia and the Ozarks in search of coon and squirrel hunters, allowing.
Whoa. I didn't even get that last part. I only heard one word, and I'm not allowed to repeat it. It's hot garbage, but it's still great for some reason. Taco Bell, like, do you know how much Taco Bell I grew up on? You know how often we went to Taco Bell when I was a kid? Like, all the time. All the time. I grew up with two brothers and a sister, right? And we would eat enormous amounts of Taco Bell. Enormous amounts of Taco Bell. All the time. All the time. And I never paid for it, but I'm sure it wasn't that expensive. To feed a family of 6 was probably 20 bucks, which is offensive these days.
Early boomers to rapidly move into high-paying corporate and financial roles, marking the rise
Make
of
a space taco supreme. Yeah. The supreme space tacos. Yeah. Yeah, of course. I mean, I don't know. I like bean burrito. I like the chicken quesadillas there. I don't like the fiesta sauce. I haven't been to a Taco Bell in forever. Right? I haven't been there in forever. Maybe I should go. Maybe I should take my kids and my wife to Taco Bell and be like, this is what Daddy used to do when he was a youngin'. I'm sure they would like it. What's wrong with Taco Bell? How do you fuck up Taco Bell? It's like 6 ingredients.
Of the yuppie era, defined by the expansion of Wall Street's influence, the prioritization of short-term profits, and the
And I still think I'm forgetting an event. Is it 9/11? Because I forget that happens sometimes too.
adoption of shareholder value as the dominant corporate objective.
I mean, like, come on. There's no way people who lived in a cave can fly a 747 like that. That was clearly remote control. And people are like, they didn't have remote controls back then. Yeah, they did. Yeah, they totally did. They totally did. Tesla invented remote control things.
Under this boomer leadership, corporate rating
And not like Elon Musk, the original Tesla, the nerd guy.
became the prevailing business model. Companies were acquired and stripped for assets. Divisions deemed unprofitable were shuttered, and large-scale layoffs accelerated the deindustrialization of the United States as production shifted
Can
over.
you guys tell me one thing? What was the optimism back there? Was it optimistic? Was it like, was it optimistic? Hold on. Let me look something up. Let me look something up. Okay. I don't even know how to spell it. Tool. And I don't know how to spell Beethoven, but there we go. 1992. This is 1992. I want to say Let's look at the optimism. In 1992, just seething cool.
Throughout the history of motion pictures, there have been many big dog stars.
What? No, that's not. No. Oh, is it? Okay, fuck it. Let's watch it. Dan Snott says I was 21 on 9/11. Holy shit, dude.
Throughout the history of motion pictures,
Holy
there have
shit.
been many big dog stars. Toto had a big adventure. Petey had a big appetite.
Before you say, all these dogs are dead.
Rin Tin Tin was a big hero. And Lassie had a
Farrell says, no, we were told the world was going to end in our entire lives, but we still had fun. Well, that was another thing, right? Everyone was like afraid of the Cuban Missile Crisis, right? Everyone thought that like it was all going to end in World War III and everything was just going to get torched. So what's the point of like keeping up society? Might as well have a good time now. That was also part of the problem. Because they just assumed there wouldn't be a future. So what's the point of maintaining any sort of social structure or anything? Might as well make as much as money as you can now and have a good time now. So now that we are actually going into World War III, where there probably will not be a future, and we already have this groundwork of shit sucking for the last 2 decades at least, it leaves us in a bad situation with a bad taste in our mouth, you know? Let's watch Lassie.
a big heart.
You've come back.
But now, Ivan Reitman, who brought you
You can't even have dogs like that anymore. You know why? Because Haitians are going to come and cut them to pieces and roast them in a parking lot and eat them.
Ghostbusters,
Haitians.
Kindergarten Cop, and Twins proudly presents the biggest dog star of them all. Beethoven.
185 pounds is a big boy.
No.
Wherever there's trouble, wherever there's danger,
And the dog saves
Emily's in the pool.
the little girl. Yeah, I remember this movie.
wherever there's food,
What kind of Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make a movie about a dog, and he just does a bunch of wild antics. And the dad doesn't like him at first, but then he falls in love with him, and he's part of the family. That's your movie pitch. I mean, like, okay. I guess there's a lot of families back then, right? The family market was a big market. I bet everybody wanted a Beethoven dog. What are these called? St. Bernards? A St. Bernard. I want a St. Bernard. Of course I do. I put a barrel around his neck and it would be filled with, I don't know, whiskey. What do they fill it with? Brandy? Oh, a brandy toting St. Bernard? Hell yeah. I just feel like he'd get a little hot around here. It is Florida.
Oh, I just love these big dumb animals.
look who's coming to the rescue.
Farrell says, I was working in Germany and the person who was running that side told us to go party in Amsterdam until we could go back to work. I've been in Amsterdam. It's pretty cool.
Whoa! Dad!
Honey.
With a little help from his friends.
Strawberry says, 2 guys I graduated with joined the Marines and died in Iraq. What do you expect is going to happen? Like, dude, I know people from high school that went into the army and stuff, and then they came back and they weren't the same. I mean, like, they're dicks when they went in, but like then they came back and they're fucking crazy, and they do that like nitrous stuff and shit like that, and just kind of like they're not the same people, dude. They were broken. I didn't care. What? You want to support the troops? Oh, thank you for your service. Thank you for fucking being a bum and getting wasted on the sidewalk. Thank you so much. Thank you for that. Thank you for making some rich guys that much richer, just slightly richer, right? And then I have to deal with the fallout because I have to step over you, right? My kids have to see you shoot needles into your arm. You're like, I was in Iraq. Yeah, well, this ain't Iraq anymore, okay? So whatever. They should put them somewhere. They should put them somewhere. I'm sorry that happened to you. You decided to sign on the dotted line and now fucked up your brain. Who knows with what? Who knows with what? You know they can just test on you, right? They can run tests on you. They don't need to tell you about it. Who knows what they injected into you? Crazy juice? Perhaps. It doesn't matter. Your life is ruined now because you wanted to make $24,000 a year for 4 years and then come out and then that's it. Dan Stott says, I don't really care about the troops. What do you, like, I don't know the troops. I'm not related to any troops. Actually, did I? I think I had a couple cousins going. But, like, it doesn't matter, right? A lot of people who came out of that shit did not come out okay. So, why would you go in? Why would you go into that? I guess you don't know. I guess you see the commercials and you see the war movies and you're like, yeah, honor. I'm going to get me some of that. I'm going to give me some of that honor, right? But like me, from like an adult perspective, I'm all like, don't do that. Don't ever do that. Don't do that. You're not going to come out okay. Sometimes they do, admittedly. Sometimes they do come out okay. But I feel like there's a heavy darkness behind them. Right? And why? Why would you do that? Because you wanted to be badass and kill people who wore blankets? They wear blankets. They wear their bedding all day long. That's how poor they are. Right? You don't know which one's which, so you just start shooting up blankets. It's like you're Pac-Man. You dissociate into this like 1980s video game where you're just Pac-Man shooting at ghosts. Don't do it, man. You're just making already rich people that much richer. You're not really helping out your country. No one's invading us. No one's invading us. No one attacked us from there. Right? Nobody, right? Whoever you want to believe was flying those planes, it wasn't these guys. It wasn't these guys who dressed up like ghosts. All right? It wasn't them. They're butt fucking each other out in the desert. They're constantly dusty. You think they're flying airplanes? You think they're doing sophisticated things like hijacking several planes and flying them into into towers? No, no. That's impossible.
Really, honey?
Hey, Pessy Ray, thanks, man.
Never found you more attractive.
Yeah, we were all brainwashed in high school. We were all brainwashed, sure, but I didn't pay attention to any of it, right? That's why I failed my way out of high school. I was like, fuck this. No, I constantly failed every class I went to because I didn't give a shit. And they hated me and I hated them, but I had to be there, right? And they would constantly tell me how much of a failure I would become. And I guess I'm fucking 38 years old and I'm streaming, so they're not terribly wrong, but they are teachers. So they are wrong about a lot of things. If teachers got anything right, they wouldn't be teachers. But the government said so. The government says a lot of things. The government says aliens are around right now. The government says we're being invaded by aliens. And like, we got to watch out for aliens. The government also says they're going to give us the Epstein files. That shit ain't happening. The government says a lot of shit.
It's not even Saturday night. Well, she drives me crazy.
George? Who are you talking to?
Charles Grodin, Beethoven.
This was the biggest problem this man had. Was a dog. That was his issue. He was like, I have my beautiful wife and kids in this really nice house, and I only have to, I have a job and stuff like that, but really, it's just a place to drink. The biggest issue you had was the fucking dog. Going home and being annoyed by the dog. Oh no, he got my business partners kind of wet with his slobber. Oh, what am I gonna do? You know what kind of shows we have? What kind of movie? We have the Florida Project, where people grow up in the fucking hood, right? They grow up in the fucking hood. They're all like, what are we going to do? Oh, my mom's a whore. My mom's a whore. And, I got to constantly get chased by pedophiles. That's the kind of movie we get now. We don't get Beethoven. We get the fucking... We get William Dafoe fighting off pedophiles because they're chasing little girl. Fucking, I wanted Beethoven. I wanted this to be our problem. I wanted to be like, oh, a wacky dog. No, not a mincing pedophile. Better times. Better times. Better times indeed.
Overseas, and capital flowed into financial markets. Organized labor was simultaneously
Well, that dog was a bit of a scamp. Yes, he was. Yes, he was a scamp.
undermined.
But he was loved. He was loved.
With one anti-union consultant writing in the Wall Street Journal that the current government and business climate presents a unique opportunity for companies to develop and implement long-term plans for conducting business in a union-free environment.
Freeside says, okay, I'm back and I'm still angry. Beethoven didn't help you out? You want to watch some other trailers from the 90s? We can watch it. What was another movie from the 90s? Home Alone? Home Alone trailer? Is that? I feel like I need to calm you guys down. You guys are insane. 13 Apostle says the 80s was the best. Shit was going so well they had to make up the dumbest styles and awful hairstyles. Literally nothing to worry about. You guys didn't even have AIDS. Right? At least in the 90s you had AIDS. At least you have AIDS. Right? At least you have something legitimate that's not really even part of your... It was really allocated to the homosexual community, so it really didn't affect... But people were afraid of it. People were afraid of it. And in the 80s and shit like that, I guess you had like... the Cuban Missile Crisis was kind of over. It was pretty chill in the 80s. It was a good time in the 80s. There's really not too much going wrong. Right? Oh no, we might get bombed. But yeah, definitely we won't. They just had to scare you. They had to scare you with something. Right? You're not going to listen to somebody. You will not listen to the news unless they scare you with something. No one listens to the news now anyway. So now I have to fucking scare you. You're all going to die. Soon. Soon, from robots or AI that turns your body inside out and uses you for goop or a battery or some kind of nonsense plot. I'm probably right. Hit the like button.
Where are you going? We're going to miss the plane.
When the McAllister family left on their Christmas vacation,
Freeside says you don't scare me. But boomers! But the boomers have been... Well, they will destroy society on their way out. The boomers will they will start World War III, right? The housing market is going to completely collapse. And not in a good way where you're like, finally I can afford a house. No, it's going to collapse and it's going to take you down even further, right? Every boomer house, every fucking 7,000 square foot boomer house that is so beautifully appointed and like at the top of the hill with its own well and shit like that, all that is going to go, it's going to be just let go. Nobody's going to be able to afford it. Nobody's going to buy it. It's just going to sit there. It's just going to sit there empty, and it's going to be an old abandoned house at the top of the hill. Congratulations. because no one can afford to fucking live in it. So there's going to be this weird kind of emptiness in the country, right? There's going to be this weird emptiness where there used to be roving fucking boomers going around, going on super fancy vacations to places and buying immaculate homes on the hilltops and stuff. And they had vineyards and they drank their days away. I mean, it might have been the peak of the Roman Empire, kind of. It's going to be that vibe, right? And then they just piss it away. Just piss it away. Oh, thank you so much. Home Alone.
No, you just made it.
They forgot one small thing.
Have yourself.
Boomer house. Boomer house. A typical boomer home.
Terrible feeling. Did you lock up?
Let yourself be light.
Do we set the timers on the lights?
Mm-hmm. What else could we be forgetting?
You guys remember the movie Blank Check? So the kid goes and buys that like mansion, right? And he overbids the guy. They were selling it, right? And he overbids them, and the bid that he won the house with was $130,000, and the house is worth $9 million today. So, and it didn't even have that kick-ass water slide. It's a big, nice house. It's a beautiful castle-like mansion and shit like that. $130,000, and he was overbidding. They were gonna sell it for $80,000.
Kevin!
Home Alone.
Police in the northern suburbs are on the lookout for a pair of...
That I remember that fucking huge pile of ice cream, and I was like, that is the tops. That shit is the tops. That's living right there. I wish I could foil a robbery, right? But I do it violently. I was thinking this as a kid. I would daydream about foiling robberies and just like dismembering robbers. I was a fucked up kid.
Burglars who are calling themselves the Wet Bandits.
We know that you're in there.
It's Santa Claus and his elf.
Get off my property.
This is my house.
Eugene says Blank Check. That was a ridiculous movie, and the chick in it was a pedo. Well, it just goes to show you that it doesn't matter if you're an 8-year-old. As long as you have tons of money, you're going to get the girl. And she was looking good. And I'm not going to lie. She looked good. She was good. And she was like, chicks aren't pedos, right? They're just robots. They're programmed to chase money. And he had the money. He had the cash.
I have to defend it.
It doesn't matter if he got it legally or not. That's not her concern, right? She just wants pretty things. Dinglies and stuff and like vroom vrooms. They're very simple people. Right? Like cats almost.
My mom's in the car.
Where's your father?
He's at work.
What about your brothers and sisters?
I'm an only child.
Where do you live?
Can't tell you that.
Why not?
Because you're a stranger.
He's a kid. I mean, what can a kid do to us?
Kids are stupid. I know I was.
You still are, Marv.
This is it.
And the saxophone was the best instrument in the decade. The saxophone had its heyday in the 90s. Oh my God, everybody loved woodwinds in general. You know, woodwinds were really popular back then. Kenny G?
I don't care if I have to get out on your runway and hitchhike. I am going to get home to my son.
We watch Home Alone 2 every Christmas, by the way. If Christmas time rolls around, we watch Home Alone 2. It's just... It's a great movie. Yes! Who's the guy who directed these movies? What was his name? He's a very famous director. He did like The Breakfast Club, and he did like 16 Candles. Somebody help me out here.
Where are you, you little creep?
Clinton was playing the sax in fucking Kids. Yeah. Yeah, that's not a secret.
I'm gonna kill that kid! Why'd you take your shoes off? Why are you dressed like a chicken?
Gus Polinski, polka king of the Midwest. If you have to get to Chicago,
Christopher Columbus. Yeah, thank you.
we'll gladly drive you.
No, it's not John Landis. It's not Chris Columbus. It was fucking John Landis. Wait, John Landis did that? Hold on, too. No, who am I thinking of? Who am I thinking of that did all those really famous movies like 16 Candles and then fucking The Breakfast Club and not Rob Reiner. He got slashed to bits. By the way, when Trump made his little tweet about Rob Reiner getting butchered by his own son, I thought that was in poor taste. I understand why he did it. But that is basically the equivalent of teabagging in Halo, right? That's just like, ha 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 ha, killed you. It was petty. Can't say I would have done the same, but I 100% understand. I 100%, because Rob Reiner did not like Trump, and Trump hated Rob Reiner. It's not Jolly West. Fucking stop. It's not Roman Polanski. It's not John Cusack. John Nutsack. John Hughes. Thank you. John Hughes. Thank you. God, Farrell, fucking the only one that fucking does anything. Right here. God, fuck. Roman Polanski? Didn't he do like Rosemary's Baby and shit like that? John Woo would have been kick ass. If John Woo directed Home Alone, that would have been a completely different film.
Hey, guys.
Yesterday, he was just a kid.
But Dan Snott says I said it before Farrell. Doesn't matter. I read it. Farrell said it. I read it from Farrell first. Now that I look back, I see that you did say it first, but I'm not going to give you credit for that.
Tonight, he's a home security.
Farrell says Dan Snott beat me to it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay. I read it from Farrell first. That's it. This is my game show. Okay. And I set the rules for this game show. Whoever I read first gets the credit. And honestly, Farrell gets quite the advantage because I assume money's coming from her. So I'm going to read her comments first.
You guys give up? Oh, yeah.
Oh, is this a don't? No, it's not, but it's still Farrell, so I'll read it. And yes, it is John Hughes. Thank you, Farrell.
From John.
I was almost going to ring the bell. Oh, I was this close, but I don't want to take advantage of the bell. Ironically sent to me by Dan Snott. That's true.
Hughes.
You know, I got a feeling this is going to be your best Christmas ever.
Lucas says stream disliked. I don't care.
Arguing that the critical test was whether management had the intellectual discipline and foresight to capitalize on this rare moment in our history. A moment that revealed that
if you guys give me another trailer you would like to watch, pitch it.
By openly recognizing the failures within American society and
having fun doing
the institutional power to address them, they instead chose to dismantle the very systems designed to serve the public while pulling up the ladder for every emerging.
Renee says, "Give Dan his credit, or he'll dislike your stream like Lucas." No, because I don't negotiate with terrorists. All right, it's tough out here. It's tough out here in the streets. Okay, Dan, thank you for your bell. It's comedy, and I get a lot of use out of it. That don't matter. This is my show. This is my game show. All right? I make the rules around this bitch. It's my show. I read the comments first, and that is who wins.
Generation behind them. This lack of future investment first fell directly onto those born into the later.
Oh, Jurassic Park. Yeah, that was an absolute banger. Hold on. Yep, doing that one. Jurassic Park was such a good movie. That was such a good movie. I remember that it was like the movie, right? That was like one of the boomers movies, right? Because like when you get around to like the Gen X generation, what do they really like? They liked The Matrix. They liked Fight Club, right? They liked those kind of movies from that era. They had good movies too. Gen X had decent movies. Office Space. Decent movies. That's kind of all they had. I mean, The Lord of the Rings. That's Gen X. The Lord of the Rings might be the greatest trilogy ever made. That's a Gen X movie. They had good movies. I'll give them that. Gen X does not have much going for it. They didn't cause too many problems, but they didn't really do anything either. So, like, that's why a lot of people just completely brush by Gen X because they don't matter, right? They had life on normal mode. You know, boomers had life on easy mode. Millennials had it on hard mode. Gen Z has it on, like, God mode. I feel bad for them. But, like, nobody really pays any mind to the Gen Xers because they're just like, just do your thing. You're fine. And they were fine. They had good movies, too. Quit complaining, Gen X. That's all I'm trying to say. Quit fucking complaining. Your shit was not that bad. The worst part of Gen X was just like weird existentialism. Like, oh, why do I have to work this secure job and like pay these bills that are actually fairly reasonable? Oh, I'm so over it. It came off whiny.
There it is. Welcome to Jurassic Park. We've made living biological attractions so
76 to 85 is best gen. What is it? That's Gen X. I would call that Gen X. Fuck elder Gen X for real. Like older Gen X is just boomers. They're just boomer light. They're essentially boomers. They're the same people. They believe the same things, right? A lot of them watch Fox News or CNN or whatever stupid gay bullshit they were watching at the time and getting the same fucking messages, right? It's from different perspectives, but it's the same fucking message, right? It's the same shit. That shit was toxic. I'm not saying the internet is less toxic because it really legitimately might be more toxic. In a very real sense, right? There used to be two types of there was two main sources you would get your news from. And one was like left wing and the other one was right wing. And they both were run by the CIA. Let's be super clear, super duper honest about that. They were both deep in the CIA pocket. I mean, Anderson Cooper literally worked at the CIA. They fired Tucker Carlson because he was dropping too many truth bombs. I don't need to reiterate or go too deep in the woods with this one. But they both worked with the CIA. And now you have the entire internet. That's kind of tough to control. Right? I mean, they banned TikTok because it wasn't under direct control of the CIA. Or whatever you want to call it. You know, them. Whatever you want to call it. But yeah. Now we get a million different sources. No one knows what's fucking true. And I prefer that, right? I prefer nobody. I prefer that everybody has a different source because everyone was retarded before. But now it's colorful. Some people think the earth is flat. Some people think there's worms on the moon or some bullshit. It doesn't matter, right? At least I get to hear a lot of different perspectives. And that's how I get my news. You know how I get my news? I get bits and pieces of a million different stories. And I just kind of put a mosaic together. And it might not be accurate at all. It doesn't matter. I'm having a good time. That's how I have fun. It most likely is not accurate. My view of the world might be just just fake. Just made up. Just like a schizophrenic puzzle, dude. But it's mine. And I'm sharing that with you now. Jurassic Park.
Astounding that they'll capture the...
Yes, dear?
I love your schizophrenic way of looking at the world.
She says she loves my schizophrenic way of looking at the world. Anyway.
Imagination of the entire planet.
The most phenomenal discovery of our time.
Eugene Stoner, born in 87. I was also born in 87, but like 10 days before 88, so at the very tail end.
How'd you do this? Becomes the greatest adventure of all time.
Can I touch it?
Sure. Universal Pictures presents.
You feel that?
Hold on to your butts.
A Steven Spielberg film.
Fences are failing all over the park.
Yeah, that's nice. Gotta go.
And then the thing spits in his face, and he's like, Great movie.
An adventure.
I can't get Jurassic Park.
And then Samuel L. Jackson, he's been in like a million movies since. And then this guy. He was in a movie, a New Zealand movie, that was, yeah, it's Majestical. Honey, what was that movie called? Majestical. Yeah, it's real Majestical. What was that movie called? It was really good. The little fat kid, little fat Kiwi boy. What was that movie called?
I don't know.
Majestical.
Into the Wild?
Into the Wild? No.
That is such a good movie.
It's a good movie. What was that movie called? Majestical. Majestical is not a word. Yeah, it is.
Where the Wild Things Are?
No, that's completely wrong. It's not Where the Wild Things Are at all either.
No, I know what movie you're talking about.
Let's see, maybe I'll get it from the chat.
You'll get it from a Google search.
I'll get it from the Google search. The chat will tell me a million wrong things. Yeah, it wasn't Into the Wild. It's not Get Off My Lawn. It's not Old as Fuck. I'm not going to play this game with you guys. I'm not going to play this. Because they're going to name... yeah, it was Small Soldiers. That's what it was. No.
Hunt for the Wilder People.
Hunt for the Wilder People.
So good.
This guy was in a movie called Hunt for the Wilder People, and it was a very good movie. It was a very good movie. I recommend watching that.
Back online.
65 million years in the making.
Yeah, it was a New Zealand movie. Yeah, it was New Zealand. Mm-hmm. Background noise says Hunt for the Wilder People. Just in time, bro. Thanks. Thank you. Hog Dog says Hunt for D's Nuts. Hunt for the Wilder People. Dan's Nuts. You guys are fucking retarded.
Jurassic Park.
Fucking retarded, dude. I can't even, like, it's like bad.
Half the cohort, often referred to as Generation Jones, who entered adulthood in a fundamentally different economy than those who defined the generation's reputation. Job security never existed for them.
Ebu says, I like how it takes John 3 days to do a 1-minute video. Not only on my show, but like when me and my wife are watching a movie, it'll take us a week to watch a movie because we constantly have to pause and like talk about something that's happening. A lot of times it's not even related to the movie itself, right? So it'll take us a while to actually watch a movie. One we watched last night that we actually went all the way through was Ex Machina. Ex Machina is a 2014 film. It was really good. It was a good movie. Like the robot, the AI. If you haven't watched that one, I also recommend that one. That was a good movie.
They graduate into a labor market already framing entry-level work.
Hunt for this dick. See? You see, I can't work with you people. I just can't. I can't work with you people.
Where wage stagnation collided almost immediately with rising inflation and a deepening distrust in American institutions. The presidency was not defined by JFK, but by Tricky Dick, Watergate, and the realization that government power was far more capable of protecting itself than serving the public.
How long has it been like that? How long has it been like that? I mean, the boomers have been running the government since like the 70s. It's like 50 years, half a century. The boomers specifically have been running the majority of the government for like half a century now. One generation has been the majority of decisions in this country for 20% of its existence. 20% of the United States existence has been run by the boomers. Holy shit. Holy shit. Because the, what is it called? The bisesquicentennial is in 2026. It's in 2026. It's this year. The bisesquicentennial. The 250 year... The United States is 250 years old.
Watching early boomers abandon their countercultural ideals for material reward, Generation Jones did not see reform as
50 years. 20%. 20% of this country's existence. And it's an old country.
attainable, but instead looked inward towards self-preservation and career survival. A mindset further shaped by the constant threat of nuclear war and a growing sense that the future was no longer guaranteed. In a letter to President
Since
Kennedy,
late 60s. Okay, late 60s. So like longer than that. So 60 years. 60 fucking 60. Going on 70, going on their 7th decade, dude. There's people that are like 90 years old. It's just like, geez, dude. And like, they might not all be boomers. They might be like some silent generation, but it's like, they're still too fucking old, you know? Still too fucking old. Honey, the boomers have been running this country for 20% of America's history.
That's a long time.
20% for half a century. That is ridiculous. If the founding fathers found out about that, they would be pissed. They would be. First of all the founding fathers were like 25.
Well, it's our fault.
What are we going to do, honey?
Listen, I just point out
The day of the
problem.
pillow? I know. You point out, you're a woman. You point out the problem, then you make it worse. You make it worse, don't you? Everyone get your pillows, all right? Tweety, you're first.
one child wrote,
Just to get our... Look, Tweety, you're part of this cult. You're accepted by us. You're going to need to take one for the team, all right? We need to find the right type of pillow. Who's that guy that makes all the... Who's the My Pillow guy? He's going to start making weapons of war. That's what he's going to start making.
I am 9 years old. I don't like the plans you are planning. I am too young to die. Another 11-year-old asked, what will be left of this wonderful world in 10 years if someone presses the button? According to Awaiting Armageddon, teachers report...
Hogdog, what are you sending me? What is this? What are you sending me? Plane crash stuff? Why are you sending me plane crash stuff? I know like that's what you do and shit. I grabbed that fatality off the mountain last weekend in a steamboat. They went down Feb 13th, which was Friday the 13th, I think. Spooky shit. Well, that's great, buddy. Do you want me to see you just talking about your day? It's interesting. You have an interesting job.
Reported a noticeable shift in
I'll give you
student
that.
artwork, particularly in a rise of mushroom clouds. Beside a drawing of an explosion, one 6-year-old girl submitted a self-portrait of her own death. A common joke during these years was, what do you want to be if?
She was so brooding, and she was all like, I just think about death sometimes. And was she like that chick? Were there goth chicks in the boomer generation? There must have been. There must have been goth chicks. Right? They weren't so fat as they are now. Now goth chicks are fat. They're sad because they're fat. And also a million other reasons, but also they're fat. So it's not attractive when you're fat. As a chick, as a woman. I can't speak to men because maybe that fat guy has a lot of money.
You grow up. while others openly said that if they learned the bomb was coming, they...
Hey, that little kid was objectively... The little kid from Blank Check was not attractive, right? Right? But that chick was still into him because he was a fucking millionaire.
would run outside and stand in it rather than duck
you know
and
what I
cover.
mean?
And when the largest generation in history grows up believing there is no future, while those in power dismantle the institutions that once
they call them the Elder Goths. That's a fucking cool name, yeah.
Long-term planning possible. Short-term survival replaces long-term responsibility, setting the stage for political decisions detached from the financial well-being of future generations. And to ensure I'm planning not just for my...
Hogzog says 50 feet higher, they would have cleared the mountain. But they hit it at 180 miles an hour. Oh, you think the pilot was like, oh, it's just his close. No, he was dead, so. But like, oh, it's so close. That's awful.
Financial well-being, but for the future, this is why I use Rocket Money. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps...
Anpu says, I dated a goth chick in high school that liked to bang in cemeteries. Oh, that's good for you, buddy. That's a memory, dude. That you get to tell your grandkids about that. Be like, yeah, I banged this, this chick in high school, and then she liked to use... We did it in the cemetery. You didn't get chased off or anything like that? Or did she have like a specific cemetery, like somebody's grave, like her grandma's grave and shit like that she did it on? I mean, like, bravo. Bravo to you, sir. That's actually pretty cool. I'm not going to sit here and be like, that's not cool. Because that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Does anybody here think that's not cool? That's pretty cool, right? Sure, it's weird, it's cliche, it's a little cringy, but like, in general, that's pretty cool.
Helps you save more, spend less, and take control of your financial life, right? Having already saved users, free premium trial, sponsoring this video. Now, despite representing just 20% of the population, baby boomers still account for 40%.
Andrew says she was fun.
3% of all members of the 119th U.S. Congress. They hold 39% of the seats in the House, marking the first time in decades that Generation X has surpassed them, while still controlling nearly 60% of the Senate, ensuring that long-term policymaking remains concentrated in the hands of a cohort approaching retirement rather than the generations expected to live with its consequences.
Yeah. Yeah. Generation X is probably going to go their entire lives without ever being in any sort of real control. Which sucks.
And when political power is held by a generation that never had to seriously plan for a diminished future, it becomes easier to understand why American policy has trapped the nation in endless remembrance rather than deliberate planning. In the 1980 campaign slogan, "Let's Make America Great Again," Ronald Reagan promised to get the government off the backs of the American people while restoring national prosperity. In practice, this meant dismantling many of the institutional guardrails that had protected workers throughout the post-war era. He slashed the top marginal tax rate from 70% to 28%, weakening the progressive tax structure that had funded middle-class growth. In 1981, he fired more than 11,000 striking air traffic controllers, sending a clear national signal that breaking unions was no longer a political risk, but an acceptable business strategy. His administration deregulated finance, telecommunications, transportation, and energy, laying the groundwork for the corporate consolidation that would define the next 4 decades. And under the banner of free trade,
they love Reagan, dude. The boomers loved Reagan. They loved Reagan. But he fucked up a lot, dude. I mean, like the entire gun. We don't get fully automatic weapons because of Reagan. He released all the crazy people onto the street from their mental hospital. So that's obviously the problem is much worse now, but like that's a huge issue. What else did Reagan do? Reagan fucked up a lot, dude. Reagan fucked up a lot. And like a lot of the conservative boomers love Reagan. But like I can't name anything that he really did that was good. What did Reagan do that was good? And what else did Reagan do that really fucked things up? Because he fucked up a lot.
Reagan and those who followed embraced a global economic model that rewarded companies for moving production overseas in pursuit of cheaper labor, shifting the long-term costs onto workers and future generations. And did baby boomers hold Reagan accountable for
illegal immigrant amnesty. Thanks, Reagan. Thank you for that. Great. Good job. Great.
Upholding his end of the bargain? No, they voted for him again. Of the 16.1 million jobs added during Reagan's presidency.
Yeah, I already said outlawed machine guns, which was fucking super gay. That's super gay. That's so gay. I mean, come on. Shall not be infringed, and you're like, well, we can just reel it back. I don't know how people didn't be like, that's fucking bullshit. That's bullshit. Because here we are. Without machine guns. And I'm like, that sucks, dude. I want a machine gun. It's not fair. Yeah, you can go buy one from some boomer FUD, right? But they're going to be like, I want $250,000 for it. No.
12.5 million were concentrated in low-wage sectors like retail, janitorial work, and food.
And you can't even make your own, right? Unless you're black in the inner city. Then it's fine, I guess.
Service. When Bill Clinton became the first baby boomer president in history and signified the final nail in the coffin for America's manufacturing base, did baby boomers stand up and fight for their jobs or the implications of a weakened manufacturing power? No, they voted for him again. Of the 22 million jobs created during Clinton's presidency,
okay, that guy's a vibe. Hold on, hold on.
No, they voted for him again. Of the 22 million.
Homeboy is my spirit animal. God, was your mama your dad was a worm? Your parents were worms. You got the cigarette. That is a look, bro. You're smoking inside of McDonald's. You have a lit cigarette inside of the McDonald's. She don't give a fuck, dude. This is what we lost. This is what we gave up. Automatic machine guns and this vibe. She's all like, that'll be 39 cents. You got tons of food. You got 3 days worth of food. It's 39 cents. Fuck you. Fuck you for having it so much better. Fuck you.
Jobs created during Clinton's presidency, an estimated 40 to 45%.
Cletus. Yes, that is a slack-jawed yokel. That is the quintessential slack-jawed yokel. Holy shit, dude. Oh my God. He got every one of his sisters pregnant. Holy shit.
We're concentrating in low skill.
I want to see his Chevy. It's rusted to shit, bro. It's mostly rust.
Service work, with most of the so-called high-wage gains coming not from a stronger labor market, but from the temporary speculation of the dot-com bubble. And while the 1990s are still often cited as a period of rising incomes, much of that growth was driven by Americans simply working more. By 1998, the typical middle-income family worked a combined 3,885 hours per year, an increase of 247 hours, or roughly 6 additional weeks compared to 1989. International data shows
that sucks. That sucks.
That U.S. workers put in more hours annually than workers in every advanced economy except for Portugal, all while capturing just 3% of
those Portuguese be working hard.
Stock market gains and absorbing nearly 40% of the historic rise in consumer debt. When the nation's workforce was gutted by the worst financial crisis since the Great Depression, followed by a...
Remember that clearly. I was 20 when that happened, and I was like, oh. I didn't have a house, so I didn't give a fuck. I wasn't planning on buying a house. I didn't have house money.
$700 billion bailout of the very institutions that caused it. Did baby boomers ride in the streets alongside their Gen X and millennial counterparts? No. They dismissed it as just another wave of spoiled kids indulging in political theater while lacking any serious or constructive agenda. And due to this severe delay in wealth accumulation, millennials now represent roughly 20% of the population while holding just $18 trillion in total wealth.
Damn, that is a disparity, right? Boomers who are 20% have $85 trillion in assets. Meanwhile, millennials, the same percentage, have $18 trillion in assets, which is honestly kind of more than, I guess, but they're probably counting the clothes on their back. I don't know. That's not great. That's not great at all.
Compared to baby boomers, who also represent about 20% of the population, but control more than $85 trillion. And even when it comes to something as basic as Gen Z, their own children and grandchildren, now facing these same structural realities of the
This guy works for the CIA. Worked, same difference.
hollowed out entry-level job market, historic housing prices.
Vanderbilt, one of the richest families in American history. Vanderbilt. They own like all the railroads.
A declining dollar, a cost of living crisis, asset inflation, and wars looming on the horizon. Has there been any effort to offer some guidance, some protection, some long-term planning? No. Instead, they are framed as just another wave of lazy, spoiled kids. And while it was a relatively small cohort of baby boomers who directly dismantled post-war prosperity and entrenched decades of self-indulgent policy, the largest generation in American history cannot be absolved of responsibility simply because they didn't just sign the checks or write the laws. Because at the end of the day, nothing was done to stop it from happening. And if we don't hold this lack of action accountable, then it gives us an out to simply repeat history once again.
So what do we do? What do we do then, right? I mean, we have to hold them accountable for the things that they did, right? They caused some serious destabilization in the country. We can't just let them get away with it. So what do? Well, we can't use our automatic machine guns because we don't got them. We can't just stay at home. We don't have homes, right? You're going to sit in your car? Oh, but cars are kind of expensive. And, what are you going to... No, you have to fucking work or else you're going to starve to death. And they're going to call you lazy for it. You do have a pillow, though. You have a pillow. And you know how to use a pillow. It's for sleeping. It's not for anything else besides sleeping.
Signaling that while America can continue to live on as a global shell company, for it to actually become great again, it must be rebuilt in service of future generations, demanding that we find hope and accountability in one another, using whatever strength we have left to redefine what it truly means to be an American. And so what I hope that we're beginning to recognize is that this blanketed hate and resentment and societal claims of selfishness towards the baby boomer generation do have merits of truth.
Do you need to say, is there a but coming after that? Is there a but coming after that? Because all these boomers are just sitting on piles of cash, right? Piles of cash. And they're still actively, to this day, making our lives worse. Starting wars that we don't want to be a part of. Do you want to be at war with Iran? How about Venezuela? Would you like a Mexican vacation? Too bad. Too bad. Can't do that no more. You can't do shit. You can't do shit. I thought it was supposed to be awesome being an American. Growing up in this country, right? I remember the 90s vaguely. I remember the optimism. I remember everybody being so stoked to be an American and be like, yeah, we're going to kick some ass. It's going to be awesome. But it wasn't like that for us. And you feel robbed and you feel cheated, don't you? And there's really not much you can do because at our age now, our parents were essentially millionaires. Essentially. We would, for the same standard of living that they had on their day-to-day 9-to-5er, we would need to be millionaires. So they were essentially millionaires at our age. It's not because they worked harder, because they obviously did not. It's because they took every advantage they possibly could and borrowed against our future. What they assumed they could party and run up a credit card in our name. I want those things. I want that party. I want that Mexican vacation. I don't want to be at war with Iran. I want to be able to have a reasonable life. Right? But it's like you just came through and then you just clear cut the forest. Right? A forest that was planted by generations before you. To be like, oh, our kids are going to enjoy the shade of these trees. And you're like, yeah, I need a cabin. We all need cabins. So we're just going to clear cut that bitch. Right? And fuck them kids. Fuck damn kids.
It's important that we begin to actually dissect and understand why it is that we feel that way. Because if we don't learn from what it is that we're frustrated at, we're going to just continue to repeat history. Future generations are only going to keep having it worse. And we have to stop that from happening. It is up to us to stop the can from getting kicked down the road.
What future generations? Millennials and Gen Z aren't having kids, right? We have a demographic collapse. And I think this is part of the plan. Wasn't this part of the plan? Wasn't this not part of the plan, right? To replace every American with some sort of Pajit or a Hispanic or something like that. And just so everybody here would not be able to, like, you know, reproduce and have kids that could cause any sort of real problems. So wasn't that the plan? Isn't that what the boomers did? That was the plan, right? We'll give you our children if you make our lives comfortable now. That was the deal with the devil that they made. And now we're pissed about it. And they have the audacity, the gall to call us lazy and entitled. Wow, don't you want to strangle them? Ooh, don't you want to just rip out the catheter right there laying there in that bed? You fucking cover the pillow and then you rip the catheter like you're starting a rusty chainsaw. Oh, you do, don't you?
A large portion of this video was inspired by a conversation I just had with my dad. I was on the phone with him and he said, you know, the older that I get, the more that I really resent being a part of the baby boomer generation. So he is Gen Jones, right on the cusp of Gen X. So again, he didn't experience the
Gen Jones? What is Gen Jones?
Prosperity that we kind of
My parents were boomers. This individual is younger than me by quite a bit.
Push onto the baby boomer generation. And he said, you know, I vividly remember being younger and watching the hippies sell out on what it is that they were fighting for and go out and start to gut the system. I mean, those were...
Yeah, they're hippies when they're like young and they're like, man, I don't need a job. I just want to exist. And stuff like that. And like no to war and stuff. Yeah, I'm just going to party and cover myself in mud and do acid. Yeah. And now they're like, yeah, fuck yeah, bomb Iran. Fuck yeah. Like, how do you flip like that, dude? You're not politically consistent. You're not politically consistent, which makes you a generation of liars, right? Because you don't really give a shit about what's right and wrong. You give a shit about what's right for you right now. What helps you the most in this instant. When the time you were hippies and shit like that, and you're like, yeah, let's get it, yeah. You could do that, and then you had all these grand ideas about making the world so peaceful, and everyone does acid and shit like that. But when you hit the fucking Reaganomic 80s, you all of a sudden flipped. You're all like, oh, I can make money doing nothing? Just riding rising asset prices and fucking my kids over? Oh, I'll do that. Line it up. And now that they're in their old age, now that they're in their fucking old age, they're going back to socialism. They're all like, because back then they weren't socialists, right? They're fucking 80s Reaganauts. Go 80s Reaganauts. Right? Capitalism and all that shit. But when you start to get a little frail, right? In your old age, you're like, I deserve free money. That's what, because I paid into that I paid into it. Oh, I worked my whole life. Bullshit. Bullshit, you lame asses. Bullshit. You just want something for nothing. You claim that you have all these these work ethics and you're just so much better and you're just so much more patriotic and shit like that, but you are just a bunch of fucking lampreys. Just a fucking bunch of greedy, spoiled kids that are 60 goddamn years old. Do nothing for anybody but yourselves your entire lives. And now you expect everyone to bend over backwards and pay your ridiculous house prices because that's your nest egg. Oh, we can't have house prices coming down. That's my nest egg. You have 4 fucking houses. You let them sit empty because you don't want it like some fucking Mexican family, which again, you brought into the country. You brought into the country to fuck it up. Good. I'm glad. I hope the fucking walls fall in on you. I really do. There are so many boomers on Twitter that fight tooth and nail and just say everybody born after them just can't handle reality and shit like that. You made reality. And you made reality suck nuts. So I'm glad your grandkids don't talk to you. If they exist.
His exact words. And he said, the hypocrisy of my generation. And I think that is really important to understand because in many ways, I would say, at least for myself, if you kind of just left me alone, I would at least not be as frustrated. If it wasn't actively, me starting to ask some questions, trying to understand, hey, what's going on? Hey, I don't think that this is right. I don't think that, homelessness should be increasing and childhood poverty should be increasing and child labor should be having a massive resurgence.
Or we shouldn't be getting taxed to absolute death because you guys decided to run up the national deficit to what is it? Almost $40 trillion. How do you expect us? How do you expect us to pay that back? There's not, you created a Ponzi scheme. The Social Security system, the entire government in general was built off an expanding population. But it's not. It's not expanding, right? That's a Ponzi scheme. And now you're just taking your goodies and then dying with them. And some of these boomers are like, I'm not leaving anything to my kids. You got to pull yourselves up like you're by your bootstraps like I did. Bullshit! Bullshit! You didn't pull yourself up by your bootstraps. You were on a floaty being raised up by the debt created off of our backs. Bullshit. Again. I just hate the attitude of these people. I hate the absolute, holier than thou. Look at all the toys I have. I've done nothing but good things, and I've done nothing but sacrifice myself for you. Bullshit.
Bring these things to the table, and then I get called lazy and entitled and all of these different things. And so when I hear that and understand you guys went through the exact same thing.
Hog Dog says boomers are all draft dodging, wife swapping cuck losers.
It's unbelievably frustrating. And so what really happened was this small but
background noise. Since once we get our brain chips, they can finally tax our thoughts too. Here's the thing that worries me. Here's the things that we're at a cusp in humanity, right? We're at this dawning of a new age, and it can go a couple of ways, right? Either way, we're going to get an explosion of technology in the next 10 years. Robots, super sophisticated AI, biomedical research, it's all going to explode. And it could either lead to this utopian post-war society, post-labor society, where we all kind of live in this quasi-Star Trek futurism deal. Or it could be this thing where the boomers achieve some sort of superhuman immortality and then just reign over any generation born after them for the foreseeable future, keeping us in this weird techno-feudalism that they have already established, right? They're already a stratified social system right now, right? If you're born after so-and-so date, you are not good enough to walk the earth. You need to be in the factories fucking busting your ass. Why aren't you working right now? Well, I just did 40 hours at fucking Walmart and it's only Tuesday. Well, you need to be working more because I need my Social Security. And yeah, I'm going to live forever. Forever. We might only be a few years off from a pill you take, and then you just turn back into 20-something-year-old. You guys realize that? Do you guys realize that aging is not really some sort of curse or anything like that? It might just be an engineering problem that we could reasonably figure out with things like quantum computing and AI, and we can synthesize a pill that would not cost very much. And then all these boomers that have been in Congress for the last 60 fucking years turn into just indefinite lifespans where they always control the resources, where they always control the policy decisions, where they always just have their boot on your fucking neck. That's the scary part, right? The best possible outcome is the fucking boomers die off as they light World War III and then the entire world burns. That's the best of solutions. That is the best thing that can happen. The worst thing that can happen is we're all slaves forever.
Powerful cohort of the baby boomer generation went out and protested in revolt.
Hog Dog says, fuck, I want to kill myself dealing with their issues. Yeah, but imagine doing it forever in an indefinite time span, right? Unless you want to off yourself, unless that's it, right? That's the only escape. Otherwise, you're going to be working under these people forever. These petulant elderly people that look 20 years old. Will you be able to afford the same treatment they get? Possibly, but also possibly not.
Because it didn't go their way, like immediately, well, they decided nobody else is going to be able to have it. And we're still paying the price for that. But most importantly, not only are we paying the price economically, but we're paying it in terms of like personal fulfillment. What I would argue the real reason that
Farrell says for a 20 spot. Thank you, Farrell. Freeside Dan Eugene. King, pick a number. Okay. All right. What do you guys want? Dan Saad says, God, John, can you stop being such a giant bummer? No. No. It's a Sulk stream. What do you want? Do you guys want to watch more trailers? We can watch more trailers. What's another trailer that's really heartwarming? What is a trailer from the good times of your soul? What was just a great movie that you're just like, oh, I remember that one. That was a good one. What do you think? What do you guys think? Marley and Me? Marley and Me? I'm nostalgic. Marley and Me is not nostalgic. I don't see it either. Doesn't the dog die in that? Here we go. Old Yeller's 2.
From Walt Disney Pictures.
I'm gonna miss you so much.
Left Behind.
Shadow is gonna love it in the country.
Have a nice
You guys remember this
and
one?
Far From Home. They were determined to find their way back.
You guys remember this one?
They've set off on an adventure into an untamed world. Across treacherous mountains.
Yeah, homeward bound.
Where danger
the Great Outdoors, that's a good one too.
I gotta tell you, domesticated animals wouldn't stand a chance out here.
And the forces of nature will test their ability to survive.
With Sally Field, Michael J. Fox. I forget what Shadow.
Miss Shadow, Mom.
It will be an incredible journey home.
Maybe that's where they went.
But that would be hundreds of miles.
Spin the wheel for Okay, I'm sorry. Hold on. Okay, Freeside says 18. Freeside says 18. Spin the wheel! He called me an FM. All right, that was 10. All right, next one is 15, Dan Snot. And that is a 4. And Eugene says 8. Let's see what 8. Can we get an 8? Can we get an 8? Another 4. Weird. And King of All Pixels finishes it up with 34. Ooh, 31. So close. Back to Homeward Bound.
In the classic tradition of Walt Disney Entertainment comes Homeward Bound, The Incredible Journey.
Farrell says someone's got to make shit happen around here, King. She's right. Somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to do it. All right. What was the other? Oh, The Great Outdoors. Yeah, we're gonna watch that one too. We're gonna watch The Great Outdoors. Great Outdoors. That was another classic. My mom loved that movie. Loved that movie. Classic. It was a classic movie. The Goonies is another good one. Hog Dog says, I fucked to Aladdin on VHS. Now, when you say that, do you mean you had Aladdin on in the background as you were getting, like, plowing your wife or something like that? No judgment here, bro. That's all I gotta say. It's just flat out no judgment.
This is Chet.
You remember me, Chet Ripley?
How you doing?
This is his family.
You can run around here naked as a bear and not worry about running into anybody.
This is Roman.
Yeah.
What a gas. This is his family.
By the way, have you ever heard, oh God, what is this guy's name? Dan Aykroyd. Have you ever heard Dan Aykroyd talk about aliens? Have you guys ever heard Dan Aykroyd talk about aliens? Dan Aykroyd is actually a very brilliant guy. He's a comedian and stuff like that, but like you listen to him talking, you're like, this motherfucker's he's smart, dude. He's a smart dude. But he'll talk about it and he'll smoke a cigarette. He's like, yeah, so the U.S. has been dealing with aliens for a long time, and I'm like, go on, Dan, go on. He has like a 2-hour interview where he talks about just fucking chain smoke cigarettes talking about aliens, and it's fucking fantastic.
I'm waiting for their heads to rotate around and vomit pea soup.
They're about to spend 1 week together in the great outdoors.
We weren't invited.
They'll be tickled to death to see us.
Who invited them anyway?
But this is no holiday.
The man is an ass.
This is war.
Fun. Good fun times. Good fun. This was the movies of this is 1988. Fun movies of the 80s. Right? Everything was good. I was born. And then everyone's like, everything's going to be fine. John's here. And then I'm like, I start like soothsaying and right and telling rumors of wars and stuff. Everything will not be okay. And it wasn't. As foretold by the ancient ones. Spies Like Us, banger. Spies Like Us, banger. Yeah.
You wouldn't know a good time if it fell out of the sky, landed on your face.
Adam Sandler took the vacation movies after John Candy died. Boo. 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 Garbage. 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 Adam Sandler, look, here's the thing about Adam Sandler. He's actually remarkably talented. He's a very good actor. He's a very good filmmaker, but he doesn't make very good films. He doesn't do very good acting. He just pumps up bullshit. He pumps out bullshit because he knows it's going to beat its goy slop. He makes goy slop, and the goy, He's like, why do I have to try? Why do I have to even give it an ounce of effort? When all the goy out there will just, all the goy slop.
And started to wiggle.
Are you going to argue or are you going to enjoy yourself?
Dan Aykroyd. John Candy. The Great Outdoors. Outdoor fun for the whole family.
That had to hurt.
They got a real bear to do that. Put a cap on him and everything. Farrell says, here's a good 90s movie. Wait. Oh, that was King. King of all pixels. Said, I love this movie, but I'll never hear anyone talk about it. And I'll bring Farrell's up soon. After this. We're taking a trip down memory lane, guys.
Charlie Tuttle had the big office, the hot car, and the beautiful fiancée. But he also had a friend.
The guy who says the N-word on stage, because he's not really a comedian. He's just an actor who happened to know Jerry Seinfeld, and so he thought he can get some shot glass by shouting the N-word, which made us all laugh, to be fair. It was the best joke he ever made in his entire career, was screaming the N-word at a black guy. I mean, if I was there, I would have stood up and cheered, and then tears rolling down my face, and like, this is it. This is the pinnacle. Michael Richards, you're never going to get better. And he didn't.
Didn't we kiss the bride? Yeah, we should wait.
Named Richard.
It's your bachelor party.
I can't do this.
Come on, Charlie. If it weren't for me, all you'd ever do is work.
One drink.
Okay.
Now, while he's
Never
sleeping
one
one
drink.
off,
Buddy?
the biggest trial of his life
This is my career.
Help me, Ricky. Is going on without him.
Mr. Tuttle. Yes, sir. I'm ready to proceed.
You said you were me?
They think that I'm the lawyer now. And that means I have to keep being the lawyer? Fine, I can handle that.
New Line Cinema presents
This is fraud.
Objection. Leading. Overruled. Vague? No.
an experienced lawyer
Okay, just breathe. Calm down.
and an out-of-work actor.
Whenever I step into a courtroom, I think of something a great law professor.
What is
of mine
this
once
movie?
said. But that can wait for tomorrow.
Giving justice.
You're on one side, I'm on another. Can't we get around this law thing?
You're touching me.
A run for its money.
I don't pose, I don't preen, I don't put perjured testimony on the stand. I don't make a mockery of the American legal system.
You got your style, I got mine.
Michael Richards.
I've never even heard of this movie.
Jeff Daniels.
Objection!
Get him out of here! No, let me back in!
In the second most outrageous trial
Since
of the
OJ?
century.
The defense rests!
Wait. Was that an OJ reference? That was an OJ reference. Trial and Error, 1997. OJ happened in 1994. 96? Doesn't matter. That was an OJ Simpson. That was an OJ Simpson's reference. Oh my God. My Cousin Vinny is also a classic. Yes.
Error.
I have a big office, I have a big car, and a big... I'm big.
Okay. That one flew way under the radar. This one's also a classic. This one was by Farrell. We're just doing this now. We're watching. Okay, look, Tommy Boy. It's classic. It's fucking classic. This one takes me back. This one takes me back. Knobsdog says smash her older ass. Yeah. She's not even that old. I mean, she's a little bit older, but like, goddamn.
Holy shnikes.
Is that for me?
Is that for me?
It's for me.
You know, a lot of people go to college for 7 years.
I know. They're called doctors.
There's always has been, always will be, a family firm. Oh, son of a... Someday my son will run it.
Luke, I am your father.
Tommy Boy is what Sandler should make? No, because he'd fucking ruin it, dude. He would just make more goy slop. It would just be more goy slop, and nobody would like it. It'd be goy slop. Goy slop.
Aw, I've interrupted happy time.
That's my name. Yeah,
That guy's a pedophile, too. Whatever his name is. I forgot his name.
that's your new office now. Whoa.
Dazed and Confused was a classic.
You want to put the future of the company in time?
Jumanji was a classic. Jumanji was a banger. Jumanji was a banger. Jumanji was a banger.
Promise me you'll look after Tommy Boy here till he gets his feet wet.
Sure, and thanks for...
Housekeeping, you want me to jerk you off? I don't understand the reference.
choosing me.
I don't understand the reference.
Hey, Tommy, this is not a vacation for me. I'm out here against my will, so the least you can do is pretend to work. Ugh, I can actually hear you getting fatter. All right, it's sale time, so remember, we don't take
No for an answer.
No.
Okie dokie.
I'm gonna pass.
Gotcha, thanks. Oh, son of a... That's gonna leave a mark.
Okay, let's check you out. All right.
That's a clip, huh?
Hi, are you sure?
You're never supposed to do that inside of the aircraft. You have to leave the aircraft first, and then when you're in the water, then you pull it. Because if it like starts to sink, you're gonna get forced to this, and you're gonna drown. Just if you're ever in the situation where you are in a plane crash, don't fucking pull the tabs until you are outside of the aircraft. Until you are outside of the aircraft, do not pull the tabs. You will die. That will kill you.
He's a big dumb animal, isn't he, folks?
No, son of a...
From Dusk Till Dawn, when fucking... God, what is that chick's name? What is that? Penelope? Is that Penelope? No, it's not Penelope Cruz. God, what is her fucking name? She's so hot in that. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
What'd you do?
Black Trooper, Selma Hayek. Selma Hayek. Oh my god. Selma Hayek still looks good. Selma Hayek still looks good. I understand that it's like surgery and like, you know, they can do wonders. They really can do wonders these days, right? I mean, it's pretty impressive what they can do with surgery and like all that. And it's only going to get better. It's only going to get better and probably a lot quicker too. So, but holy shit, Selma Hayek, you're holding it together. I know you're like fucking 60 years old, but like, congratulations.
I'm a maniac on the floor.
Did you eat a lot of paint chips when you were a kid?
I like how like 6 people are like, Selma Hayek. Selma. Okay. All right. Are we done? Can we get back to the matter at hand? It's the boomers we're complaining about. Not the great life that they had and all their iconic movies that they produced, which is admittedly they did, I mean, like, only because it was nostalgic for us. But no, they were also pretty good. There were some bangers. There's some bangers.
You know, in America for.
More trailers, please. Make me feel again. Okay, I don't care. What would be a trailer? Biodome, which was actually not a good movie, but I still liked it.
Biodome, a pure, self-contained environment where 5 scientists are about to be sealed off from every conceivable form of contamination.
And you might be like, Pauly Shore is a terrible actor and comedian, and you'd be absolutely right. But his mom owned the Comedy Store in Los Angeles, and I think she still does. And so that's how he got into this gig. Not from his skill or talent. It's obviously nepotism, because Pauly Shore is not an actor. He's not an actor. He's a fucking douche, dude. He's just a complete douche. I've never met a bigger doucher. I fucking Encino Man with Brendan Fraser. Brendan Fraser blows Pauly Shore out of the water in that movie.
Set 1.
Hold on, King.
Check out that mall, man.
Our dream is finally at hand.
What kind of mall is this?
Get them out of here!
The doors are sealed for 1 year.
We're stuck here.
That's right.
12 months?
Yes.
52 weeks.
Yeah.
And Billy Baldwin is just a fucking Billy Baldwin.
385 days?
Now, the whole world is watching as Bud and Doyle are separated from their loved ones. Learn about endangered species.
They're the rarest Lepidoptera in the world.
Experience nature.
It was such a dumb movie.
Firsthand. And become world-renowned protectors of the planet.
Purple sticky punch, or hemp, is an excellent source of photosynthesis.
Just because we're stuck in a bubble doesn't mean we can't cause any trouble.
On 3, 3.
What is Slappy and the Stinkers? Here, I'll play the next. King of All Pixels gave. He says start the downfall. I don't know what that means, but start the. Well, sure, why not? What does that mean?
Not getting enough
Wow, wait. It's dumb.
Yes, I know. It means the ground is going to end.
Fenrir says Slappy and the Stinkers. I don't know what that is. What is that?
Service, there was
West. Jim West.
Man, Will Smith really did fall from grace, didn't he? He really did fall from grace because he's like I've never met a more rich and famous cuck. I've never met Will Smith, obviously, but like I've never seen such a rich and famous cuck like Will Smith. Like, oh, holy shit, bro. Holy shit. You gay? You gay? It's fine if you're gay. I mean, not really, but like, it is, whatever. But like, are you gay? It's nice, clean rap. I like the nice, clean rap. I should show my son this movie. I bet he'd love it. He would love the Wild Wild West. Wild Wild West. He would love it. He would love it. Oh my God, I have to now.
A dangerous spy
I didn't see Hancock. Was Hancock good?
likes to poke around.
I believe I'm that second one. Gotta stick to what we each do best.
from the director of Men in Black.
Of course.
Now what?
What is Slappy and the Stinkers, though? I must know. Wild Wild West. Wild Wild West. Wild Wild West.
Will Smith.
I'm trying to look it up. See if I can find it.
Kevin Kline.
Oh my God.
I love this train. Kenneth Branagh. Papa. And Selma Hayek.
Selma Hayek at it again. Still looking good. Obviously, it was 1999. She was, you know.
And it's a whole new West.
Wild, Wild West. Wild, Wild West. All right, now, Fan only gave $2, but I'll do it anyway, because why not? Slappy and the Stinkers? I've never even heard of this movie. Never even heard of this movie. Oh, we got 2 more. Okay. All right. Farrell for 5. She says, last one because we're talking about it in the chat. She gave... Okay, we can do that. We can do that one. And then after that, we'll do Swamp Ninja. Give it another 5. And
your actions are an egregious assault on the Dartmoor name.
Me, I'm not doing that.
If any of you steps out of line, just once.
First of all, I hate that 1992 space movie. I hated it.
You're all history.
I hated that shit.
Of course I did.
I hated that movie.
They can get into so much trouble.
What are those stinkers doing with a leaf blower?
Having so much fun.
I feel like this was like a lot of, this was very common back in the 90s. The hijinks like this. I'm not going to show it. I'm not showing it. I'm not showing it because that's a stupid movie.
So when the world's most lovable sea lion...
Look, it's Slappy.
That is one big gopher.
...needs to be rescued.
That man's taking Slappy.
Only the stinkers...
We gotta free him. Free him. We're gonna get him out.
...have what it takes...
Nobody leaves him alive.
...to save the day.
Let's rumble.
In the wettest...
God, it looks like Los Angeles. It just looks like Los Angeles. Like, oh my God, I feel like watching this movie. I'm in.
Wildest, the coolest.
Way cool.
That
has got to hurt.
Adventure of the year.
You're going home, Slappy.
It's not a classic. It's not a classic. It's a terrible, terrible movie.
You're welcome.
B.D. Wong, Bronson Pinchot, Slappy the Sea Lion. And the fun-loving Stinkers.
I'm gonna die with the Stinkers!
Slappy and the Stinkers.
Okay. And from Farrell, this one. I'm not going to do the 1992 space movie. I'm just not doing that. I'm just not doing it. This show has to maintain a relative veneer of respectability. I'm sure you guys understand. Wait, didn't we already do this one? Tommy Boy. Yeah, did you get that one again? Did you get that one again? You gave me Tommy Boy again. You gave me Tommy Boy again. I'll take it. I don't care. But I'm not gonna watch it again. I'm not gonna watch Tommy Boy again. But we can watch another one. We already did this one. I feel like it's okay. All right. How about this? I'll do this one.
Holy shnikes.
Hold on.
Is that for me? No, son, that's for me.
Yeah!
You know, a lot of people go to college for 7 years.
I know. They're...
This is what I do. This is one that I watched probably a million times. Fuck yeah, now we're talking.
Can scarf down their slices in safety, knowing
I don't know what airborne is.
Close by, help is never far away.
I definitely have a VHS of this, yeah.
Any luck finding a new place to live yet?
Well, you know, in this market, it's actually very difficult to find good subterranean housing.
I miss the puppets, dude. I miss the fucking puppets and shit like that. And, like, it's just like, it was...
You think even an idiot could find a place down here? But no!
Hot April. Yeah, Hot April. What, Farrell? What, Farrell? What can I do for you? What can I do for you, Farrell?
Hey, guys!
You sent the correct... Okay, where did you send the correct link? Okay, alright. Alright. Oh, God, that's a banger, too. But we gotta do this one.
That had the ooze. That transformed us all.
Yes. Well, you're the last one, aren't you?
Severe lack of diversity, and that's problematic.
Some animals are knocking down the telephone poles.
Let them get their own cab.
She's not my producer. She's not my producer. This is her show. This is Farrell Presents the Sulk Stream.
Take the ugly one! No, you take the ugly one! Which one's the ugly one?
That's, yeah. Farrell Presents the Sulk Stream. Feral Pigeon. A Feral Pigeon production. Right? Don't get uppity. I'll get uppity. I'm the talent, sir. I am the talent on this program.
Go long! Turtle in the open! Surf's up, dude! Rock and roll!
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2.
Cowabunga!
The Secret of the Ooze.
Secret of the Ooze.
We're turtles!
God. All right, this is the last one. This is the last one, guys. This is the last one. A feral pigeon joint. Yeah.
It's unsolicited. I can't touch it.
It's not easy to break into the music business. But these three guys...
What's your secret code?
I love this movie, dude.
I can't tell you my code.
Just found a way.
You guys are a unsigned band, and you broke into the radio station to get your demo played.
I wish we had good movies. No, now we just make crap. There's just crap movies now.
I just feel
crap.
like
It's just crap.
They don't know it's a water pistol. They think it's real.
Oops. Look, all I want to do is be heard, and then we're
Michael Richards again. He's showing up a lot these days.
Who are you guys?
My name's Pip. The band name. Sorry about that.
Oh man, look, the demo's wasted.
Well, what are we gonna do now?
Run!
Hello, police.
I'm surrounded.
I don't want to go to jail. I'm fragile.
Everybody on the floor right now.
Do you mind if I sit in a chair? I don't want to get all cruddy.
Yeah. If she doesn't sit on the floor, I don't know why I have to.
Sit down! Everybody else gets to sit in a chair except for you. Is everybody okay in there?
He wants to know what your demands are for releasing the hostages.
What's he mean by hostages?
It's the inbreed.
We asked for a whole bunch of weird stuff.
Cool
This way
black
we can plead
guy.
insanity later.
Number 13. Naked pictures of B. Arthur. Excuse me?
The author was an old lady.
You're exceeding the maximum weight limit.
We're not doing three amigos. We're not doing. Look, if you guys would like to donate for tomorrow, we can. I don't give a shit. We can watch nothing but trailers tomorrow. You guys just gotta donate. But that is tomorrow's show because I'm already running long. I'm already running long, man.
Swimming pools?
He doesn't wear a helmet, does he?
You guys are crazy, man. Y'all are all woohoo.
Who's Michael McKean?
A plastic gun! Now what are you gonna do about that? Chunk style?
Improvised. The Lone Rangers?
What's wrong with that?
Well, there's
We can do a week of this easily. We can easily do
what
it.
you're saying right now.
It would be no problem.
Airheads.
I mean, fuck. If you guys want to do that,
I'll go.
I'm game.
One of the
I'm
hostages.
game.
Sorry.
I'm down. You guys want to
Made
do
them
that?
do
I
it.
am down. I will do that with you. All right. All right. That's the Sulk stream, guys. I hope you guys have fun. Have a good evening. We're gonna do the whole week, whatever we want to do, because this is a Sulk stream, and I'm sorry, Feral presents the Sulk stream. Have a good night, guys. I hope you guys stay safe out there. Make me proud as cult members. Spread the word. Hit the like button. Do all that good stuff. I will see you guys tomorrow. Until then, be awesome to each other. Think of new movies to watch the trailers of. And drink a lot of water and get a good night's sleep. I will see you guys tomorrow night. Love you. Good night.
I'm an incredible soul, unhinged and enraged like a bulldog's fierce growl. I'm spitting fire, burning through these trees, questioning the world, unraveling conspiracies. Talking about Bigfoot, Loch Ness Monster too. Government lies, they're feeding me their goo. I'm diving deep into this rabbit hole, uncovering the truth, setting fire to their control. I got small nipples, but my voice is loud, roaring like thunder in this crazy crowd. They say I'm crazy, but I call it woke, unraveling the madness with every word I spoke.
Hmm.